Hi everybody, welcome to my living room yoga practice. My name's Joanne. Excited to be here and in these odd and strange times, and I'm hoping that there are some folks who I haven't had a chance to practice with yet who might be enjoying the video. And just a few words to get us started. Thank you for watching and enjoying, and I hope it brings you some benefit. If anything is uncomfortable at all during practice, please don't do it. You have to listen to your body, especially since I'm not there with you, to be very careful. If you have any injuries or issues, please modify or just skip something if you need to. So we'll get started in a nice comfortable seat. If you feel like it's difficult to sit up tall with the spine tall and the hips grounded here, you can always grab a pillow at home or something like a little bolster to tuck it under your hips so you can sit up a little taller. It really does make a big difference if you need that. So we'll lengthen up through the spine. We're going to close the eyes at the beginning just to ground ourselves and center ourselves in our practice so we can drop out of our thinking minds and really calm and soothe our nervous systems. So with our yoga practice, we breathe in and out of the nose. And we use a 3-part breath. And we embrace the belly, so the breath begins in the abdomen. So we really want to expand the belly as you inhale. Part 2 brings the breath through the ribs and moves it out to the sides. And the 3rd part of the breath comes all the way up to the chest and clavicle, so the collarbone will rise a little bit at the top of your inhale. So the breath should move like a wave through the body. So again, begins in the belly. Try it with me, inhaling through the belly. And then we exhale through the nose and reverse the wave. So the chest falls, ribs come toward one another. And we gently squeeze the navel toward the spine at the bottom of our exhale. And as we do that, that should automatically allow the belly to reinflate. So try that. So with this yoga practice, we want to maintain a nice, slow, deep breath. If you find that the breath becomes labored or shallow, then just slow down whatever you're doing until you can breathe slow and deep again. And as we inhale, we want to find a sense of expansion and length through the spine. And as we exhale, we just soften and relax all tension away from the body, letting go of anything you don't need. Deep breaths in and out of the nose. Taking another deep inhale as you grow tall. And as you exhale, we're going to bow the chin to the chest. So the shoulders stay back, spine stays tall, just the head bows forward. You should feel a stretch through the back of the neck. Using this time here at the beginning of our practice, it's always nice to set an intention or a dedication for your practice. That could be anything from focusing on your breath or your posture to dedicating your practice to the world at large, which I think we all could benefit from. So it's nice to set an intention to sort of have something in our subconscious mind that can anchor our practice. So I encourage you to try that if you like. And again, we'll bow the chin forward. Take another breath here, softening through the back of the neck. Setting your intention. And on your next inhale, we're going to rock the right ear over the right shoulder. So make a smooth movement with the neck. Draw the ear over the shoulder. And then you want to make sure you're not too forward with the head. If it's comfortable for the neck, we're going to draw the chin back a little bit so that the ear is directly above the shoulder. So make sure your posture stays tall here. Take a breath. And then as you're ready, you're going to walk your opposite arm, your left arm, out to the side. So now we're opening that whole side of the body, stretching all the way down to the fingertips, and breathe here. Sometimes it's nice to put a little intention in the fingers to feel that stretch. Taking one more breath here. Deep breath in and out. Slowly drop the chin to the chest as you bring the left arm back in. Then we'll inhale and draw the left ear to the left shoulder. And again, check your posture stays tall, spine is centered, chin draws back just a little bit. So ear and shoulder are right above one another. Ears above your shoulder clearly. And then walk your right fingertips out. Again, feeling that stretch. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Each exhale, softening a little more. Awesome. Drop the chin forward. Bring the hand in. Take the head upright. See how that feels. And then we're going to squeeze the shoulders up by the ears. Make a big circle as you bring the shoulders up by the ears, and then squeeze the shoulder blades behind the back, really tight in the back, and drop. So nice big circles. Squeeze up as you inhale. Exhale as you drop and open. Good. One more time. Squeeze up and back. Awesome. Soften the shoulders, lengthen through the spine. Take a deep breath in and out. That's my bird clock. Sorry. Okay. So let's inhale and sweep the arms up, reach up, and then create a little resistance in the arms. So we're not just swinging the arms up, but we're reaching up as if you're moving through water here. Reach up. And then we're going to exhale again, nice and slow with a little resistance halfway. Send the fingertips wide. Breathe in as you grow tall. As we exhale, we're going to lean forward slightly and swing the right arm under the left. Come back to upright with your spine. Stacking your elbows here, creating a little bind in the arms. And then the arms can come back to back. They can stay here if this is more comfortable. If you combine the hands and eagle arms, that's an option, not necessary. And then make sure, again, the shoulders are dropping and the spine, the crown of the head is tall, so we don't want to drop our head around. We're going to be nice and open here. Breathe in and out. And here you want to be careful of overarching in the lower spine, so we're going to keep our ribs hugging in a little bit. And you're going to find your sweet spot by changing the height of the arms so the elbows can come up or down. The hands can come toward the face or away. So whatever is comfortable for you, find your sweet spot and breathe. And really bring the breath all the way up to the tops of your lungs here so you can feel the breath deep in your stretch. One more breath. And then we'll unwind the arms. So let's shrug our shoulders in between here. Squeeze them up and back. Awesome. Sit up tall. Breathe in as you sweep the arms up with resistance. Exhale, halfway. Shift forward slightly, and then this time we'll swing the left under the right. Again, create a little bind, and then whatever position you want to be in. So make sure your spine's tall, arms back to back here, or palm to palm. And then play with the elbows, finding your area of stretch, and breathe there. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Soften the face and the brow. Relax your jaw. Nice and slowly we'll unwind the arms. And then let's take another shoulder shrug here. Squeeze the shoulders up and down the back. Open your chest. Awesome. Let's inhale and sweep the arms up here. We're going to interlace the hands at the top if you can, and we're going to turn the palms to face the sky. You're going to draw the pinkies back as you press the index side of your fingers up. So we're reaching back a little bit. We want to be careful not to bring our shoulders way up by our ears. We want to keep them plugged in and then reach back. Breath here. In and out. One more breath. Beautiful. Slowly release the arms back down and shrug your shoulders. Awesome. So we're going to come into a tabletop position. So you're going to come onto all fours. Your knees should align underneath your hips and your hands should align directly under your shoulders. So if you're new to the practice, you want to brighten your hand on the mat. So we don't want to relax the hand. We want to really brighten the fingertips. So we're pressing into the full surface of the hand and the fingers, not just the wrists. If you have any issues with your wrists and this is too much for you, you can always use fists. Or you can use those little claws that they use at the gym. I don't have any of those, but you can use your fists here as well. So wherever you're comfortable with the wrists. Now we want to rotate the inside of the elbow toward the front of the mat. So hopefully you can see in the video, I'm going to rotate my arms internally and externally. So we want to create that external rotation so the inside of the elbow opens up forward. And you always want to micro bend your joints. You never want to lock the joints. So make sure you're not hyperextending, but a nice softness to the elbow. And then feet are parallel behind the knees. Spine is nice and long. So I'm not just hanging out here, but I'm pressing the mat away from me. And my neck stays in line with my spine as I look out past my hands. We're going to take some cat-cow stretches, some nice easy stretches. So here, we're going to drop the belly as we inhale and send the tailbone and the crown to opposite corners of the room that you're in. So lengthening, thinking of length like a gondola. As you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to turn the tailbone toward the floor and drop the head between the arms, press the spine up like a cat, draw the navel toward the spine. Inhale, open the chest, drop the belly. Exhale, round. If anything hurts, don't do it. I am tending to a little bit of a low back strain myself, so I'm going to be very mindful about how I move. Good, 2 more times. It's beginning to warm up the spine a little bit. Awesome. We're going to come back to a neutral spine, to tabletop. And then from here, we're going to tuck the right toes under, flexing through the calf, begin to open up the back of the leg muscles a little bit. And then you can kind of saw forward and back. So inhale, forward. You can massage your toe tips. It's great if you have any allergies. The toe tips and reflexology stimulate the sinuses. And then you can exhale back. Inhale forward, maybe massage your toes. Keep the neck long. Exhale back. Good, 1 more time. And back. Good, dropping the knee. We'll switch sides. Left leg comes out, toes uncurl. Inhale forward, massage your toes. Exhale as you press back. Awesome, dropping the knee. I'm going to take my knees out a little bit wide, like about the mat width apart, and bring my big toes together. I'm going to push back in an extended child's pose here. So you're going to slide the hips over the heels if you can. You can rest the forehead on the mat if that's accessible. Soften your shoulders. Take a breath here into your back body. Awesome, and then slowly come back up to your tabletop. And then I'm going to shift my weight forward a little bit. I'm going to bend at my elbows and draw my elbows toward my ribs. I'm going to plant my chest right on the mat between my hands. This is going to feel strange if you've never done it. This is called awkward S pose, as you can see. So hands are right next to your chest, knees are on the mat, feet are on the mat, and the glutes are lifted. Nice stretch here for the lower back. And then we're going to slide the legs out from underneath us. So we come flat onto our belly. And we're going to inhale into a low cobra. So we're going to inhale as we peel up. Chest lifts. My neck stays long. My shoulders stay back. And my elbows stay hugged into my ribs. Breathing here. So it depends on where you are. You can be pretty low. You just want to make sure we don't wrench our neck and look up. You're going to keep the neck long. Keep the feet glued to the floor. If you have any tension in your lower back in this position, you want to tilt your tailbone toward your heels. And if that doesn't help, then you want to come down lower. 1 more breath. Body rises and lowers with the breath. Good. Plant your hands next to your chest. Bring your chin down. We're going to tuck our toes. And we're going to push back again to a child's pose. Awesome. Walk your hands back. I'm going to have us come onto our back next. So we're going to swing our legs around. And plant your feet on the floor. Make your way down to the back, whatever way is comfortable for you. I'm going to use my elbows here. So once you get comfortable, you're going to bend your knees to place your feet on the floor about a hip distance apart. And I'm going to bring my hands down by my hips. And I'm going to walk my hands down so my shoulders move away from my ears. Your back of the head should be on the mat. And we're going to do some pelvic tilts here. So we're not going to do a full bridge just yet, but we're going to be doing some small movements to warm up the back. So palms are down, feet are down, and then I'm going to inhale. As I inhale, I'm going to tilt my tailbone forward to the front of my mat. So I'm going to come toward my coccyx or my tailbone off of my sacrum. You should be on your sacrum. So arms extended, feet on the floor. As I inhale, I'm going to expand my belly, and I'm going to arch my back and tilt toward the tailbone here. I'm using my shoulder blades to press in as well here. So inhale big. And then as I exhale slowly, I'm just going to let my sacrum come back to the floor, that backbone at the lower part of your spine. It's just going to come back to neutral. And then once I'm there, I'm going to breathe in. And then I'm going to exhale and tilt the tailbone toward my heels. So I'm drawing my navel toward my spine and flexing the other direction. It's not a big movement, but you'll feel this. Draw the navel toward the spine. Inhale as you come back to neutral. So generally there's a little space if you don't have any pathology in your lower back. The back will arch away from the floor just a little bit. That's normal. So we're going to do that twice more. So we're going to inhale. I'm going to arch, come toward my tailbone, press my shoulder blades into the ground, inflate your belly. And the exhale is super slow to bring you back to neutral. Inhale again. Exhale as you draw navel towards spine. Press the low back into the mat. Inhale to neutral. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale, squeeze navel towards spine. And come back to neutral. Awesome. So from here, we're going to do a little bit of a bigger movement next. Palms on the floor. And walk your heels as close to your glutes as you can. And in this position now, we want to be careful that our legs don't splay out to the side. So palms down. And then we're going to peel our lower back up nice and slowly. See if you can articulate each vertebrae in your spine one at a time by going really slowly and using your breath. So I'm going to inhale, peel up. Make sure you keep your head neutral, looking up at the sky, and the back of the neck is off the mat as well. Peeling up, exhale, lower. So if you need to look first and then do it, that's fine. Try not to look and do it at the same time. We don't want to hurt our neck. So again, the back of the head is on the mat. My neck also moves away from the floor just a little bit. That's normal. Shoulders down. Keep the gaze straight up. Palms down, feet down. Inhale, peel up. Hip points rise to the sky. Exhale, lower down. See if you can do that with soft glutes. Inhale, peel up. Exhale. One more time. And exhale. Awesome. Soften the back. Take your arms out to a T position on the floor. And then we're going to walk our feet out just a couple more inches here so they're a little bit more relaxed. And then we're going to windshield wipe our legs side to side. Keep breathing. Good. One more time over to your right. When you fall over to the right here, pause. I want you to see if you can feel a deep stretch on the left side of your abdomen. Knees are to the right, left side of the abdomen. You're going to reach the left arm up. And see if you can draw the left hip toward the front of your mat as you stretch the left arm away to the back of the mat. Deep breath here to feel that stretch in the psoas muscle deep in the belly. Let's take another breath here. Beautiful. Slowly bring the knees back up, arm to a T. We'll drop the legs to the left this time. Again, see about drawing that hip to the front of the mat. Reach the right arm up. Deep belly breaths here to feel that stretch. Soften your shoulder and your brow. Awesome. Slowly bring your arms back to a T. Bring your legs back to center. Draw both knees into your chest. Hold on to your shins if you can. Squeeze your knees in. Gently rock a little bit side to side. Awesome. Lower the feet to the floor. And then send your right leg out as you draw your left knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. Make some circles with your big toe. Stretch and blow back a little more. And then reverse your circles. Awesome. Switch sides. Draw the right knee in, left leg out. Make some circles with your big toe. And reverse. Awesome. Bring both knees into the chest. You can hold on behind the thighs. This is a fun thing to try. It's definitely not necessary, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull it off. So let's see. We're going to rock and roll a little bit. So we're going to send the feet up a little bit higher. You're going to use your core strength to also find movement, momentum for this. Inhale, rock forward, nice and easy. Not sure how easy that is for me today. So we're going to rock up to a seat. I don't think that was the best demo, but next time. So we're going to come up to a standing position and do a few standing postures. So coming up to the front of your mat, you want your feet hip distance apart. We're going to come into mountain pose. So I'm going to face you so you can see. So feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to lift and fan my toes. I want to feel all four corners of my feet grounded, and then I'm going to lengthen up through the spine. I want my shoulders to be above my hips, which should be above my heels. So see where you are, and make sure your feet are parallel. A lot of times we have a tendency to stand pigeon-toed or out to the side. So check your feet and your alignment so they're nice and even. And again, stack everything above the heels. We want to engage the core just a little bit and the quadricep muscles in the legs a little bit so we're not just hanging out, but we're active in our pose. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, collarbone is wide. Mountain pose, so the head is floating on top of the spine here. We've got a lot of activity here in mountain pose. This is a foundational pose for all standing postures and back bends, so it's really, there's a lot in this pose to go over. But just know that we're stacking everything above the hips and we're engaged a little bit. We're finding a sense of ease and effort at the same time. So breathe in nice and slow. And breathe out as you let go of any tension in the body. Let's inhale and sweep the arms up. We're going to catch our left wrist with our right hand, and we're going to reach up and over in a side stretch. So make sure you're trying not to be here. You want to be lengthening through the side and opening through the side body. Think of a shooting star here, reaching out. inhale through center, we're going to switch the grasp and stretch the other way. Awesome. Inhale through center, exhale, lower the arms by the side. I'm going to come back to the front of my mat, and I'm going to take a giant step back with my right leg. So I'm going to take a pretty wide stance. A good measurement is heel to arch alignment, so your front heel should cut through the back arch, or you can do heel to heel alignment. If you're newer to the practice, it might be nicer to have a wider stance. So my hips are going to face this long edge of the mat, and I'm still keeping my shoulders above my hips. My left foot is pointing to the front edge of the mat, and my right foot is pointing to the long edge of the mat. I'm going to send my arms out nice and wide, east-west. So generally, my ankles and wrists are in alignment. From here, I'm going to gaze over my left hand. I want to soften my shoulders as I extend through my fingertips. Breathe in here. And then we're going to come into Warrior Two just by bending the front knee. So we're going to bend the front leg. And then you might need to adjust your stance. You want to make sure the heel is directly under the knee. You don't want the knee moving past the heel. It's not as stable for the knee. So heel over knee, make sure that's going on. Soft arms, breathe, gaze over your left fingertips. Activating the outer edge of your back foot into the mat. Nice and tall here, breathe in. And out. Warrior Two. Another common thing that happens in this posture a lot of times is our knee will want to collapse inward. So you want to make sure to open the knee out so you can see your big toe in your peripheral vision. The knee should track with the second toe. Deep breath in and out. One more breath here, Warrior Two. Awesome. Inhale, straighten that front leg and lower the arms by the side. So let's just switch sides by turning your left foot in and your right foot out. Check your alignment here. It may feel different on this side. That's normal. Send your arms out when you're ready, east-west. Gazing over your right fingers now. Soften your shoulders. You can also turn the palms up in this pose if you like. If you have super tight shoulders and it feels better to do that, that's also an option. Breathe in. As you exhale, bend the front knee. Adjust your stance if you need. Make sure you can see your big toe. Nice and tall here, nice deep breaths, 3 breaths. Grounding evenly through both feet. Nice and strong. One more breath. Beautiful. Straighten the front leg. Turn the right foot in. Awesome. Let's stay here with a nice wide-legged stance here. So my toes now, or my feet are parallel. You can even come tiny bit pigeon-toed here if that's comfortable. So we're kind of internally rotating our legs a little bit. We're grounding through the outer edges of the back foot. We're going to take our hands to our waist, thumb here, fingers supporting the sacrum and the low back. Draw the elbows back behind you to kind of open the chest. Tilt the tailbone a little bit toward the heels. Breathe in as you lift the heart center. And then as you exhale, we're going to hinge from the hip with a nice long spine halfway to the floor. So you're going to come parallel to the floor. So you can stay here. If you want, you can release the hands to the floor, or if you have blocks at home, you can use blocks or books or pillows or whatever you want. If you're comfortable coming to the floor, you can also come all the way down. So we're going to keep our neck in line with our spine. We're finding length through the whole spine here. Hands are right under the shoulders. Getting a nice stretch in our hamstrings. Remember to soften the knees a little bit so they're not locked. Beautiful. Take one more breath here. Nice and slowly, you're going to ground through your feet. One hand at a time comes to the back for support. And then we're going to hinge and use our back muscles to rise up. Awesome. Now we're going to angle our toes now to the outer corner of the mat. This is a challenging pose, so don't worry about it if you can't hold it or it doesn't work out. It's no big deal, just give it a try. So we're going to aim the toes to the corner of the mat now, and like we did in Warrior 2, we're going to sink, and we want to make sure our knees open out a little bit. So we want to keep that spiral of the thigh bone rotating laterally so that our spine can stay tall here as we sink into our goddess pose. So you're going to bring your arms up to cactus arms, dropping through the tailbone. Open the chest here. Imagine you're holding up a wall. Breathe in and out. Optional flow, you can come out of this anytime you need. You can also come up a little higher if it's too much. No worries. Wherever you want to be is fine. Breathe in. I'm going to breathe out as I bring my forearm to the thigh. I'm going to reach my left arm over my ear and stretch. I'm going to inhale through center, and I'm going to exhale the other direction. Good. Inhale. Exhale, building up a little bit of heat. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Oh yeah. Inhale. Good, lower the arms. Exhale, straighten through the legs. Whew, nice job. Heel toe the feet back to center. And then we're going to shrug our shoulders up by our ears and open the chest. Coming back to your mountain pose. So let's do one more standing series. Let's come back to the front of the mat. Starting in mountain pose, take your right foot back. Slightly shorter stance this time. I'm going to angle my toes to the front corner of the mat. Still have heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. I'm going to turn my hips to the front of the mat. So that's the idea of angling the back foot. So take a look back here. So we don't want to be here, we want to be here. So that gets our hip around a little bit. And then we're going to bend our front knee a little bit. Again, adjust your stance so the knee is directly above the heel. And then inhale the arms up for Warrior 1. So for here, I don't want to be here. I want my shoulders above my hips. You can bend your back knee a little bit, tuck your tailbone under a little bit, and then find that length in the spine. Reach the arms up. Ground your shoulders. Finding a tension in the outer edge of your back foot. Deep breaths. Nice, strong Warrior 1. One more breath. Here, I'm going to straighten my front leg and I'm going to open my arms out to the side. I'm going to send my hips now, are going to face the long edge of the mat here. I'm going to gaze over my left hand, breathe in. I'm going to bump my hips to the right. As I exhale, I'm going to reach until I can't reach anymore without shifting my hips. I want to keep my hips in the same plane. I'm going to reach, and then I'm going to tilt my torso to the leg. Anywhere it lands is fine. You don't have to reach the floor. The top arm comes up above the bottom arm. Now, if that's too much, you can take the top arm out of the equation and draw the hand behind the back and be here. I want to try to stack everything in this plane, so I don't want to be turned out. I want to be nice and stacked. And I'm still having a little bit of a tender back, so I'm not going as deep in this posture, but wherever you want to be is fine. So I'm activating both feet nice and strongly. And I'm not leaning on this leg either. I'm lifting the pose with my torso here. So working the sides and the back a little bit. Breathe. So the neck position can be neutral to the side. You can look up to the extended arm, or you can look down to the floor. Notice my head is not like this, so it's nice and long, wherever you want to be. One more breath. Awesome. To come out of this pose, I'm going to use my torso to lift myself up. You can use the arm to lift yourself up. Lower the arms by the side. Turn the left foot in and the right foot out. We're going to do warrior one on this side now. So again, angle the toes so your hips can come around to the front of your mat, or the back of your mat, wherever you are. Inhale the arms up. I'm going to drop my shoulders, nice wide arms, and I'm going to sink the front knee. I'm going to stack my shoulders above my hips. Tuck my tailbone a little bit so I can get that alignment. And breathe. Warrior one. Beautiful. Slowly inhale. Exhale, straighten the front knee and open the arms wide. Now face the hips to the front, long edge of the mat. Nice and wide with the arms. Gaze over your right fingers. Breathe in. We're going to bump the hips to the left first. Breathe in. As you exhale, reach, reach, reach until you can't. And then let the hand fall anywhere it lands on the leg. Left arm straight up. Open your chest here. Option again, hand behind the back. Try not to lean here. Lift the pose with the torso. Breathe. This is my better side. I don't know if you can tell. One more breath. Again, use that left torso to lift up out of the pose. Exhale over the arm. Beautiful. Turn the right foot in. Heel toe the feet back to center. Good. And then maybe shake it out a little bit. You can do a little floppy yoga. I like to do this to kind of let things go. Just swinging the arms around, moving around on the spine a little bit. Good. And then we're going to do a balance pose. I try to incorporate balance in all of my classes. It's super important, especially as we age, to practice balance. And every day is very different. So one day you might feel pretty good in a balance, the next day you may not. So the point is to practice it and not worry about it or fight it. So for balances, we always start in mountain pose. Nice hip distance to the feet. Nice, fan your toes. Feel all four corners of the feet grounded into the earth. It's sometimes nice to envision roots from the arches of the feet going down into the core of the earth for stability. And then we find that mountain pose, stacking everything above the heels. Take a deep breath in and out. And again, we're going to shift our weight. We're going to do the tree pose. We're going to shift our weight to our standing leg. I'm going to start on my left leg. And you want to make sure you have the micro bend in the knee, so don't lock the knee again. Another important thing for balance is to fix your gaze on the floor. You can always use a wall if you need more stability. You're welcome to go near the wall. But I'm going to shift my weight to my left leg. I'm going to fix my gaze so I have something to stare at on the floor or something that's not going to move. And then when you feel steady, you're going to take your right foot anywhere but your knee. You can use the ankle with the toe down. You can use the calf. Or if you feel adventurous, you can bring the foot all the way up into the inner thigh. And then bring the hands to the chest. Find that mountain pose. And then when you feel steady enough, you're going to bring your arms up as branches in your tree. Breathe. Another thing in this posture that you want to think about is pressing the foot and the leg into one another so you've got that lift at the midline. That's a nice trick to have that dynamic energy. Good. One more breath in your tree. Soften your shoulders and your face. To come down, bring the hands to the heart, thumbs to sternum, releasing the leg, and then shake it out a little bit. And then you forget about it. So we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to shift the weight to my right leg and micro bend my knee again. I'm going to stand up nice and tall, mountain pose, shifting the weight and fixing my gaze. And whenever you feel ready, ankle, calf, or thigh. Hands to heart. Exhale, inhale as you reach your branches out. And breathe. Beautiful. Slowly bring the hands down to the heart. Release the foot. And shake it out. Awesome. We're going to come back down to the floor. Option is to come down through a squat if you'd like. And take my feet a little bit wide. I'm going to reach my arms out and drop through the tailbone. This is optional. I know it's not easy for a lot of folks to do this, so don't worry about that at all if you can't do it. If you're there, it's a nice stretch for the low back. Elbows can come inside of the thighs, and then the thumbs to the sternum. And breathe here. Slowly make your way on to the floor. We're going to come on to our back. So if you're at home, I should have said this at the beginning of practice, but if you have a strap or a tie, I'm using one of my Pop's old ties, or you can use a bathrobe string or anything that you have at home, really, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a yoga strap. So we're going to come to our back. And I do encourage you to get some sort of a strap or a towel or anything you want. We're going to come all the way down to the back, to the floor. And before we do anything, take a nice deep breath in and out and just see how you're feeling right now in this moment. Just letting any tension wash away with the out breath. And then take your strap, and we're going to place it across the ball of the right foot. So I don't have it on the arch. You want it all the way to the top of the foot. That's going to draw the toes toward the face. Yeah. So we're going to walk our hands up the strap so the head stays on the mat, shoulders stay on the mat, so you don't have to reach the foot. And then you're going to plug your femur into the floor. So you really want to ground your femur, this big thigh bone, into the mat as you draw the toes toward the face. So you want your hips to feel even. So you can probably stretch yourself further, but then let's do that. Let's stretch a little bit further. Feels pretty good. And then we're going to draw our hip bone down, release your foot out a little further, about maybe 30 more degrees. Draw the toes toward the face, plug your femur in, and then stay there so the hips are nice and even. You should still be feeling a stretch. I'm going to take a couple breaths here. Soften your brow and your face. Nice deep yogic breaths. I'm going to wind it down here. So from here, take this strap now into your right hand only. I'm going to place my left hand on my hip to keep it grounded. Breathe in, and as you're ready, breathe out. Slowly open the leg. Now, if you pop up off the mat here, you've gone too far. You're going to ground your left hip. So you may not get far at all, and that's fine. I like to use my elbow on the floor for a little stability. Just stretching the inner thigh here. So whatever is comfortable for you. Couple of breaths, keeping this hip grounded. Nice and slowly inhale, bring the foot back up with your strap. Place the strap in your left hand. Right arm can come out, palm down. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, we're not going to come very far this time. We're just going to come here. So really press through the heel as you draw the toes toward the face, and as soon as you feel a stretch in that IT band, you can pause and play with your edge a little bit. Don't go past your edge, but you know what that is. So breathe there, a couple of breaths, should feel good. Beautiful. Come back to center. And then leave the foot in the air with the strap on it. Just send your hands next to your hips. Draw the toes toward your face and trace a line with your heels slowly back to the floor. And then you can get your strap, but before you do anything else, observe the difference in your legs. So my leg feels closer to the floor and a little bit longer. It's kind of weird. It's like magic. So enjoy that. And then we'll switch sides to even it out. So take the strap across the left foot now. Ball of the foot again. And then see where you feel your full stretch. Let's back that out a little bit. Plug your femur into the ground so your hips are nice and even. And then readjust. So that'll change a little bit where you are. And it's better to be even with the hips than way up here. Couple breaths here. Make sure your face is soft, shoulders are relaxed, neck is soft. We're going to take the strap in the left hand, ground your right hip, breathe in and slowly open the leg to your left. Stay grounded in your hip. Only go as far as you can, keeping this hip on the ground. Find your breath. Nice and slow, you're going to inhale, bring the leg back to center. Switch the strap to your right hand again. Slowly make your way over till you feel a stretch. Draw the toes toward the face. You don't have to come very far. Press through the heel and breathe. It's okay if this hip comes off the ground now, obviously. But keep the hips even. Slowly take the foot upright. Let go of the strap, hands next to hips, trace a line, draw the toes toward the face, trace a line with your heels, slowly back to the mat. Good, and then see how that feels, maybe shake it out a little bit on the hips. Should feel more even. We need to give ourselves a few minutes to relax. I never leave enough time for that. So you're going to come down to your final resting position, which is called Savasana or corpse pose. And if you have any tension in the lower back body, you can bend your knees, have your feet mat width apart, and let the knees come to center. This is a nice release for the lower back. Or you can have the knees upright, feet mat width apart. If you feel pretty comfortable in the back and you want to stretch it all the way out, bring the feet all the way down. Let the feet be at least a mat distance apart. Let the toes flap out. I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades under my chest a little to open the heart and let my palms face the sky. Fingertips curl as they relax. And return to your breath. Close your eyes. Part your lips so that your jaw is relaxed. And bring your awareness back to your breath as it moves in and out of the nostrils. Relax your entire body. Allowing it to sink deeper and deeper into the mat with every out-breath. Relax, relax, relax. You just stay where you are on the mat as I move a little bit. Give you guys a couple minutes and I'll end with the bell. Keep relaxing on your back. Letting go of tension. And slowly and gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And rock your head a little bit side to side. From your Savasana, how we're going to come out. So we're going to bend our knees and place our feet flat on the floor if they're not already. You're going to roll onto your right side to a fetal position. You can make a pillow with the arm and the hands, or you can use your pillow. Just take a moment here to notice any changes in body and mind from now in the beginning of your practice. Recalling any intention you may have set for your practice. And as you feel ready, use your left hand to push yourself nice and slowly back up to a seated posture, coming into easy pose. And we'll sit up nice and tall, floating on the spine. Let's inhale and sweep the arms up together. Feeling your hands at the top, and bring them down to your heart. Comes to sternum. And we'll bow to one another. Namaste. Namaste is a yogic greeting that means the light in me honors the light in you.